Meaningful by Bernadette Jiwa. In a world flooded with products, services, and endless choices, Bernadette Jiwa's Meaningful delivers a refreshing, almost revolutionary idea. The real reason people choose brands is not because of flashy ads or sophisticated technology, but because the brand or product holds personal meaning for them. Jiwa argues that businesses should not focus primarily on selling or storytelling for their own sake, but on creating offerings that deeply matter to the people they serve. Instead of asking how to make customers buy, businesses should be asking, what will make their lives better? What will add significance to their experience? Meaningful is a manifesto for shifting from transaction to transformation, from marketing slogans to genuine impact. Throughout the book, Jiwa shows that meaningful innovation that resonates, is not about being louder or shinier, but about being more human, more empathetic, and more aligned with what truly matters to people. The myth of the new and improved. For decades, businesses have been obsessed with what Jiwa calls the new and improved cycle. Every year, products are relaunched with minor upgrades, hoping to entice consumers with the promise of more features, faster performance, or sleeker designs. But increasingly, customers are tuning out. More doesn't necessarily mean better. Jiwa points out that consumers are not looking for marginally better gadgets. They are looking for products, services, and brands that reflect their values, solve real problems, and enhance their identity or experience. The myth of new and improved distracts companies from what really creates loyalty and enthusiasm. A feeling that the brand gets them, respects them, and makes their life richer. When businesses compete only on features, they enter a race to the bottom. When they compete on meaning, they create customers for life. Understanding the real customer story. Central to Jiwa's thesis is the idea that companies must become skilled not at pushing their story onto customers, but at understanding the customer's own story. Every person sees themselves as the protagonist of their own narrative. They make choices, including purchasing decisions, based on how they fit into and shape that story. Successful brands don't insert themselves into this story in a self-centered way. Instead, they enable and elevate the customer's personal journey. Jiwa urges businesses to listen deeply. What matters to customers? What are they striving for? What problems weigh on them? What dreams fuel them? By aligning products and services with these deeper motivations, companies can move from being vendors to trusted companions in their customers' lives. The companies that thrive are those that help people tell better stories about themselves. Innovation rooted in empathy. Jiwa dismantles the misconception that innovation is about dazzling people with radical novelty. True innovation, she argues, starts with empathy. It means observing not just what customers say they want, but understanding what they deeply need, often needs they themselves haven't yet articulated. Great innovators don't sit in conference rooms brainstorming clever ideas in a vacuum. They immerse themselves in the worlds of their customers. They observe, ask, listen, and above all, feel. Jiwa cites examples like Airbnb, which didn't invent travel or lodging, but understood the human desire for belonging and authentic experience when away from home. By responding to these unspoken emotional needs, companies create innovations that aren't just different but indispensable. In this view, innovation is not a technological pursuit but a human-centered practice. The anatomy of a meaningful business. According to Jiwa, meaningful businesses share a few essential characteristics. First, they have clarity of purpose beyond profits. They know why they exist and whom they exist to serve. Second, they obsess over their customers' lives, not just their own offerings. Third, they create products and experiences that respect the customer's intelligence, dignity, and dreams. Fourth, they are consistent. Their values are evident not just in marketing materials but in every interaction, touchpoint, and decision. Jiwa suggests that meaningful businesses don't have to be perfect, but they must be sincere. Authenticity, more than polish or precision, is what builds lasting connections. Why products alone aren't enough. In a market saturated with choices, Jiwa explains that it is no longer enough to have a good product. Functional excellence is expected. It's merely the ticket to entry. What differentiates brands today is how they make people feel. The best brands don't just sell products. They deliver experiences that resonate on an emotional level. Buying a Tesla isn't just about having an electric car. It's about being part of a movement towards sustainability and innovation. Drinking a Starbucks coffee isn't just about caffeine. It's about participating in a cultural ritual. The product is the medium, but the meaning is the message. Companies that understand this shift their focus from features and specifications to crafting emotional and experiential value. The power of small moments. One of the most beautiful insights Jiwa shares is that meaning is often created not in grand gestures but in small, seemingly insignificant moments. A warm greeting from a barista, a handwritten thank you note in a package, a software interface that anticipates a user's frustration and gently resolves it. These moments accumulate to build trust, affection, and loyalty. Jiwa reminds businesses that customers don't remember every interaction. They remember how they felt. Small moments of care, thoughtfulness, and delight can outweigh millions spent on advertising. The brands that consistently win are those that sweat the small stuff, not because they have to, but because they genuinely care. Meaningful stories over marketing spin. In the noisy marketplace, many companies resort to exaggerated marketing claims in an attempt to capture attention. Jiwa cautions against this temptation. Customers are sophisticated. They can smell insincerity a mile away. Instead of spinning stories, companies should tell true stories. Narratives grounded in real values, real missions, and real customer benefits. A meaningful story isn't just about how great the company is. It's about showing the customer that the brand understands their hopes and fears, that it shares their journey. Storytelling should be an act of service, not self-congratulation. Jiwa gives examples of brands that have mastered this art, like Patagonia, whose environmental activism is not a side note but the centerpiece of its story, earning deep loyalty from like-minded customers. Building a culture of meaning inside the organization. Creating a meaningful brand externally starts by cultivating meaning internally. Jiwa emphasizes that companies must ensure that their employees find meaning in their work. When employees feel that their work matters, when they believe they are contributing to something bigger than themselves, they bring passion, creativity, and care to everything they do. Conversely, when work feels empty or cynical, it inevitably shows in customer interactions. Leadership's role, therefore, is not just to set business targets, but to articulate a vision that resonates emotionally with their teams. A company's culture is either its greatest asset or its Achilles heel when it comes to delivering meaningful experiences to customers. Listening as a superpower. Listening, Jiwa argues, is one of the most underrated skills in business. Truly listening without rushing to respond, sell, or defend is a radical act. It is how companies uncover hidden needs, spot emerging trends, and build deep customer relationships. Listening also signals respect. It tells customers they are valued, not just as revenue sources but as people. Jiwa challenges businesses to create systems that genuinely listen at every level. Customer service interactions, online feedback, social media conversations, even casual observations. The goal is not just to collect data, but to build empathy and responsiveness into the organization's DNA. Creating brands that matter. Ultimately, Jiwa shows that building a brand that matters is not a mysterious art. It is a conscious, disciplined practice of putting human needs at the center of every decision. It involves humility, the willingness to admit that the company exists to serve, not to dominate. It requires imagination, the ability to see the world through the eyes of those we seek to serve. And it demands courage, the guts to resist the easy path of hype and hollow promises, choosing instead to build slowly, authentically, meaningfully. Brands that matter are brands that people would miss if they disappeared. They are brands that become part of how people experience the world and express themselves. Conclusion, the legacy of meaning. Bernadette Jiwa's Meaningful is not just a book for marketers or entrepreneurs. It is a call to action for anyone who wants to create work that matters. In a time when attention spans are short and trust is scarce, the path to enduring success is clear. Build meaning, not noise. By grounding innovation in empathy, prioritizing authenticity over marketing gimmicks, valuing small moments of care, and truly listening to customers' lives, businesses can rise above the chaos of competition and earn a place in people's hearts. Jiwa's message is both urgent and timeless. The companies that will thrive in the future are not the ones with the flashiest products or the biggest ad budgets, but the ones that choose to matter.
Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybookssummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends, and let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.